Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 21 of Warlocks Play. I'm your host Deacon, and we are playing HBS Battletech with the Urban Warfare expansion. As I said, this is episode 21. It's going to be part 1 of a multi-part Flashpoint. We are heading for the system of Glentworth, to run the one man's trash Flashpoint. 2 Skull, which is a bit under our normal pay grade. However, it does have tonnage requirements, light tonnage requirements. So that should make it a little more interesting. So we're going to get on the road.
Roger that, Commander. Course plotted.
Not much going on for us here in this system. We do have quite a bit going on in the mech bay. As you can see, all but 3 of our active mechs are in the shop. I am stripping most of the plus weapons, not all, but most of the plus weapons out of the medium lance, moving them up to the thunderbolts, just to improve their damage output. And we've got this Orion K we brought up from the hold, and we're trying to outfit it to kind of function like a Warhammer or a Marauder, if you are familiar with the Battletech universe. There are a couple of very famous, very loved heavy mechs in the Battletech universe, and we don't get to play them in this game because Harmony Gold is a bunch of wankers. There's a whole legal issue with the artwork originating from the Robotech franchise and some licensing bullshit and yada yada yada, and we can't play them because Harmony Gold will sue anyone who puts them in the game. But the configuration translates over, I'm hoping, we'll find out, into the Orion K, which will will be done in 18 days. So that's what's going on. So we took the weapons out of some of the weapons out of these lighter mechs, moved them into the heavier ones. These are all replaced with more generics. And let's see if this Orion K comes out interesting. We did some promotions in the barracks. I'm not going to go over that with you. Nothing fancy. Alpha Lance just got some more skill points. And we're on our way.
I've got the financial report.
Alright, everybody's getting paid. So running things at generous and extravagant in the past got our morale up to the resolute part, so we get more resolve during combat missions. Definitely worth it, but we don't need that anymore. So we're just going at normal because you guys are expensive. Alright, and before we do that, we're going to look in the store. Our last system didn't even have one, so... Ooh. And this one might as well not have. And I am surprised we are almost to the halfway point, and we've only got the one black market invitation, which we were unable to accept because of finances. That's real unfortunate. We're doing alright without it, but a second store that has access to all kinds of extra kind of funky gear would really have been nice. Oh well, maybe for the next run. And let's start the Flashpoint. One man's trash. High alert Glentworth. Ed Corbu. Holy shit, you actually came. Michael Rostov in the flesh. You know, the invitation I sent you was sort of a Hail Mary. To be frank, I was 90% certain you wouldn't even respond. But here you are, gods be praised. Yeah, here we are. Would you care to explain what we're looking at, Mr. Corbu? Oh yeah, haha. My damn holo camera's on the fritz. You're getting the parrot, right? I think that's my comm system's default image, the one they use for display models. Just try to ignore it. We've got serious business to discuss. I bet. Okay, so here's the deal. I've got these associates. Nobody you've ever heard of, nobody you need to worry about, but they shell out big money for old stuff. You know, bits and bobs from the Star League days. Doesn't matter if it's working or not. If it's ancient, they want it. Your associates aren't alone in that. A lot of people would give their left arm for a piece of genuine lost tech. Yeah, but you're talking about the stuff that has value. Mechs, ships, lasers, that kind of thing. My friends, they want everything, including literal garbage. And that makes opportunities for people like you and me. So here's the deal. Way off the tip of Glentworth's northern continent, there's this island called Menlowen. Now, I happen to know that there's a Star League era facility there. The Vultures have been picking at it for years, but there's still meat on those bones, and I want you to fetch it for me. So you called us out here for a lost tech treasure hunt. Fantastic. If you'd been upfront about that, I'd have argued against flying out here at all. Hang on, hear me out. The facility I'm sending to isn't SLDF. That's the beauty of this plan, because there's nothing in there of military value. Nobody with any muscle is going to show up to stop you. You're going after the equivalent of a Star League era stapler factory, but that doesn't matter to my associates. They'll pay top dollar for whatever you pull out of there. So what's stopping you from heading down there yourself and looting the place? A healthy sense of self-preservation. See, there's a couple gangs of scavengers on Menlowen who are fighting over our stapler factory. They're nobodies, just a bunch of amateurs who'd rather lob bombs at each other than learn to share. And before you ask, no, they don't have any battle mechs. At most, you'll run into a couple of rundown old tanks on each side. Nothing that you need to worry about. Any fool with a battle mech can pull off the kind of job you're describing, so why come to us? Because you're the best. And I know you're the best because I've got a pal at the MRB, Mercenary Review Board. Maybe you've met him? Phil Burdock? No? Well, me and Phil have an arrangement. I let him crash at my luxury timeshare in the Louth Abbey, and in return he helps me find the right people for jobs that need doing. So your process involves bribery and a timeshare condominium. Got it. Yes, you do. Now, what do you say? A quick drop on the island with a lance of light mechs, maybe a skirmish with a vehicle too, and the job's done. You scoop up whatever's in that facility and drop it off at my Congo. I go fence it to my associates, and you get a nice big payout. Easy as pie. Well, this is a Flashpoint decision. We either take the job or not. We didn't fly out here to not do the job, so click. Brilliant, friend. Absolutely goddamned brilliant. I'll be in touch with you when you've got the goods. Until then, do your thing. Don't let me stand in your way. Did we just get hired by a bird? And it's generating contracts via 56k modem. Got a couple run missions we can do for Davian afterwards. That's nice. Davian, yeah, it's anti-Davian. We don't want that one. That's again Draconis combined. That's fine. Pirates, no. Davian, no. Turian. This one's against the Tarian Concordat, and it's a 4-skull battle in a tundra. We will eventually do that. But first, we got this. One man's trash. Alright, let's see whether we are too limited or not. Employer. Trustworthy client. Wink, He's a bird. We'll go max salvage because the money isn't that great. And here we go. Okay, so I messed something up with the Hunchback. We got to go back to the mech bay real quick. What did I miss? Oh, we were damaged from the last... Oops, we were damaged from the last op. I need to fix that. Let's get that to the front of the queue. Everyone take the day off.
I'm seeing a huge energy surge in the mech bay. Everything okay in there?
Black market fence selling a large laser. Darius calls up from a planet-side supply run. Commander, Twa tagged along to help me wrangle supply. She managed to get involved with a broker in the local black market. Now this broker is offering to sell us a large laser plus. This is a serious deal with a pretty significant individual. What do you want to do? Twa's a criminal, but that'll get us a 40,000 C-bill discount on this laser, which is plus, which in this case is +5 damage and +1 accuracy. That's not actually that shabby. Yeah, Twa, you criminal. Get us that laser. Alright. Twa meets up with a broker in a bar with a budget and a plan. After a few drinks, she starts dropping the names of past black market contacts the company has dealt with, along with some personal exploits. The booze flows and stories are shared. Next morning, Darius returns to the Argo with the weapon and a still drunk Twa. MechWar waggles her fingers at you when you come to inspect the merchandise. Come with us next time, Commander. It'll be fun. You've got fans now. We get the large laser. Costs us 120,000 C-bills, and we gain 3 reps with the local pirates. That's funny. Twa, the expert. Right. Alright. We'll just pass these last 2 days, get all our mechs online just in case.
That work order you submitted is complete.
Back to the Flashpoint. Max salvage. Okay. Let's see. Hotshot is the Centurion. That's our fire support. Wrecker and the Hunchback. Ghost and the Shadowhawk. We're going to be kind of brawly. These are both short range and punchy. And Mercy in the Blackjack. But none of that's above 55, and we're at the 200 tons limit, so here we go. That's that in-depth tactical analysis that justifies that fat paycheck we give to Darius, I guess. The objective is literally to loot the Star League stapler factory.
Command interface initiated.
According to Corbu's map, our Star League stapler factory should be somewhere just ahead of you. He also said that we shouldn't run up against anything more dangerous than a combat vehicle or two, but I'll take that with a grain of salt. Perhaps more than a grain. I don't especially trust Mr. Corbu or his mysterious associates. Me neither, says our tech, who shouldn't be on the comms, but it's refreshing to work for someone who's obviously sketchy for a change. I mean, most of our clients are just as bad, but they're much better at hiding it. Incoming transmission. Nigel Binton. I see that you've come with some new battle mechs on the field. Hello, my name is Benton. If you've come for the vault, my hired cutthroats will be murdering you today. Hampton Modge. Menlo Wen is my island, Benton. If I catch either of you near that vault, you'll only wish you were dead. I've got a bucket of Prosperian blood limpets and a vivid imagination, and I'm feeling eager to use them. I guess we better not let you catch us. Game face is on, everybody. We got a fight on our hands. Can you shut up so I can shoot something,
Okay,
please?
everybody. Stay frosty.
Okay.
I'm your spaniel.
Moving out.
Okay, now this is a polar map. It's worth noting that this is hard ice. Now, hard ice has a couple of things. It reduces our movement speed and by 20% and increases stability damage taken by 20%. But when we're standing on it, our heat sinking ability is increased by 50%. So if you can avoid getting knocked over, it's a good place to stand and shoot. But since there's no cover on it, if you do get shot, you that much easier to knock over.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Acknowledged.
And this rough terrain that we're going over increases stability damage if we get shot at as well. And slows us down. Has no positive benefits. We'll reserve. I'm going to wait for the vehicles to come to us. So we got a 35-ton vehicle, a 60-ton vehicle, and a 60-ton vehicle.
I hear ya. No sweat. Bandits.
She detects something else. Yep, another 35-ton vehicle. Okay.
They've got a lock on me.
Good to go. On my way.
Now the rough terrain thing applies for just passing through that, so don't get in a fight the turn you're on it or the turn after you are on
Yes, ma'am.
rough terrain, if you can help it. We got a third bit of terrain over here, geothermal. When you pass through it or on it, you only sink 50% normal heat amounts. So if you generate a lot of heat, it'll go away slower. That's a Manicore.
Yeah, Commander. Lock it on.
I like these flashpoints. Oh yeah, that was a Manicore. I like these flashpoints that have weight limitations. It's fun to play with some of the lighter mechs. Oh, that, ladies and gentlemen,
It's go time.
is an SRM carrier. And it's literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 SRM 6s on a track.
Commander?
Pretty dangerous. If that
Well,
Shadowhawk
confirmed.
hadn't just gotten a whole bunch of evasion, he'd be unhappy right now.
Copy that.
But they're not heavily armed, which is good because
Reporting one
there's
less vehicle.
two things that can happen. You shoot them or they shoot you. You cannot let them
can I do for
stay
ya?
on the field and continue the fight. You just can't.
Ready, set. Roger that. Firing on target.
Yes, Commander.
In fact, there's 4 vehicles that are pretty darn dangerous in this game.
Move order received.
There's that SRM carrier. There's also the long-range version of it, cleverly named the LRM carrier. And that one carries like 5 LRM 15s or 20s.
Taking the shot.
It's a real pain in the ass.
Vehicle trashed.
There's the Shrek PPC carrier, which carries 3 PPCs. That one's pretty rude.
I await your command.
And then last but certainly not least, the Devastator tank, which has 2 AC-20s. All of them are pretty much kill on sight. Absolutely kill on sight.
Good to go. On my way. Going toe to toe.
How do you go toe to toe if they don't have toes?
You like that?
Alright. That was an interesting distraction. Let's get everybody back together again.
Uh-huh. Move into position.
Acknowledged.
Don't need to tell me twice.
On the move.
Our neighbors still think it's the 4th of July, sending off fireworks. Okay, we've taken possession of the stapler factory, Commander. Keep our scavenger friends occupied and away from the facility while our people crack the vault. What people?
Moving to position.
Coordinates received.
On it.
The asset has been secured and is ready for retrieval.
All targets eliminated. Sit tight and it can collect you from where you are. Right. Commander, I must study the symbols on the crates that our Lance pulled from the facility. Against all odds, it looks like Mr. Corbu was telling us the truth. We've just stolen several tons of commercial-grade Lost Tech desk accessories. Well, that's one for the record books. We pulled the biggest stapler heist in human history. And I think Benton and Maj have been at each other's throats over this vault for months. People have died for this. How do we break it to them? They're fighting over garbage. It isn't our job to break anything to them. All we need to do is get this crap to Loth Abbey and get paid. Speaking of which, I'm setting the course, Commander. We'll get Corbu on the horn as soon as we reach cruising altitude. Trustworthy client. Well, for 4 vehicles, I kind of wish I'd gone full money. Hopefully they drop some cool mods. A little XP. Okay, I'll take that. What's worth the most money? PPC is worth the most money. And then what? Grab an SRM6. Okay, I'm going to... we've been recording for 25 minutes. I'm going to cut and start another episode for this one. I'm going to try that for the Flashpoints instead of doing one big long episode, because my upload time gets a little ridiculous. So I will see you in the next one.